So here we're trying to make it so that once we click too many times, it no longer allows me to change that state. And if we look at the way that this is being used, the way we intend to use it is we have this use toggle that accepts a reducer option, and we pass a toggle state reducer. And here we implemented the entire reducer ourselves, where it accepts a state and an action. It manages each of the different action types that can happen. And the only real difference between this reducer and the default is this logic right here, where we reference the click too much state. And if we have clicked too much, then we return on is state.on. So we disallow changing the on state. And if we look at the original reducer, that's really the only difference here. So what we need to do is to make it so that people can fall back on the built-in reducer, but they can provide their own reducer if they want to manage how state updates happen for our custom hook. To make this possible, we're simply going to accept that reducer option here. And then instead of the toggle reducer referencing this toggle reducer here, we'll just forward along the reducer that's passed to us, save that, and click, 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 click. Oh, we can't click too much. Ta-da! So everything's working nicely there until we click reset, and then we can click some more. Now this works really nicely for our specific use case because we do want to control how the state is being managed. But for users who just want to use the use toggle hook as normal, this would be a lot of extra work. So what we're going to do is make it so that we default to the built-in reducer if it's not provided. So now if I come down here and I say, oh, I'm not going to provide a reducer function, then it will work just as normal. And if we provide a reducer function, then it will do exactly what that reducer function does. So this allows users of our custom hook or our custom component to specify their own reducer, which will accept the state and the action and return the state that they want to have based on what action was dispatched. This gives them incredible amounts of control, maybe a little bit too much, which we'll deal with in the extra credit. But now if anybody wants to make any sort of change to how the state is managed, we can just say, go ahead and use the reducer function here to provide your own reducer, and you have total control over how that state is being managed. So in review, all that we had to do to support this was accept a reducer option for our custom hook and default that to the toggle reducer. And then rather than using the toggle reducer directly, we use that reducer option so that if the user has passed a reducer, we're using theirs instead of our own, and if they haven't, we're using our own.